Hey, David, Jim from Atlanta. I have a question about playoff roster construction, specifically what you would do with a player like Reese Hoskins, who started for the Brewers for much of the year but fell off due to injury and Andrew Vaughn coming in and crushing it. What are the expectations for him around the clubhouse? Is he coming to the remaining games or is he just watching the rest of the games from home? Thanks.
That's a very interesting question that you're asking. I'm just taking notes because I want to make sure I address both of those things. Playoff roster construction is a fascinating process that you go through. You have access to your 40-man roster. There's some ways that you can trade in and out off the roster after the deadline of July 31st and August 31st when you have to submit your final roster. There are examples where you can trade out for injury, but it's got to be by position, etc. It can't be because of performance. But forgetting all that, you build your roster. You've got bullpen arms, you've got high leverage guys, late inning guys, middle relief guys, mop up guys, long relief guys, the 10 run guys, we call them. Hey, you're up 10, you're down 10. We're putting this guy in. He's got a rubber arm. We need rubber arm guys. They can go back to back 50 pitches 2 days in a row, and they're not highly invested in, and you don't care if their arm blows out. You've got on the hitting side, you need a combination. You want lefty, righty. You want some switch hitters. You want people who hit for power. You need people with speed. You need a backup catcher. With defense, you need pinch runners. So you need speed on the bases, people who can't find their way to first base without jogging from the dugout and slapping five to the player who got the hit. You need one of those guys. So you're putting together your roster and you realize that you've got to submit a playoff roster that only has 26 of the guys on it. And you're feeling like, uh-oh, that doesn't seem like enough. I'm not covered in every situation. People who are fans of the show have heard me talk about why the San Francisco Giants lost to the Marlins in 2003. It was not because the Marlins played better. It's not because the Giants weren't the best team in baseball, even though to me they weren't. It's not because Barry Bonds wasn't absolutely impossible to get out, because he was. The reason the Giants lost to the Marlins, go back and look at the division series in '03. It was playoff roster construction. The whole end of the series with Pudge Rodriguez holding the ball in his hand, having tagged out the runner to end the game on a series ending 7-2. Left fielder Conine to Pudge Rodriguez catcher, is that the runner trying to score on the base hit off of what would have been a blown save by our newly acquired closer, Ugueth Urbina, was the playoff roster construction, because JT Snow, there was nobody to pinch run for him. And he is as slow as I am. That is the reason why the Giants lost that game and lost that series, was playoff roster and the implications of putting it together. You may just think that it takes a second. Do you know when you're in September and you're within 5 games, that I always talk to you on the business side that what it means is we can send out playoff invoices. We can charge people for playoff games all the way through the World Series, get the money into the account, use that money to pay bills, and then if we don't make the playoffs, have that money roll over to next season tickets, or make it virtually impossible to get a refund. Yes. But did you also know that we're working on the playoff roster? We are working on different, using our scouts, our advanced scouts, our pro scouts. If we play this team, if we play that team, we're going through all the different possibilities in both leagues, even imagining playing in the World Series, and we're putting together a playoff roster. And you put together your 40-man roster based on your playoff roster because you got time to do it before the deadline of August 31st. It sounds insane, but yes, it happens. Now, what happens to people not on the playoff roster? Did you happen to notice Max Scherzer on the bench? I don't know if you did or not. I'll bet you $1 he's there, and he's not on the roster right now. Here's how the conversation goes when there is a player who would have expected to be on the roster who's not on the roster. You call him in. You've got the GM, the manager, and I would attend, I would say, 50 to 80% of the meetings, because I just wanted to be there. I wanted to make sure that we were communicating, that we were being honest with what we were doing with our team, with our roster, with our players. And you say to the player, hey, just want to let you know that the way that this series lines up, the way that we envision it going is we're not going to have you on the roster. The Dodgers had to say it to Clayton Kershaw during the wild card round. He was not on the roster for Dodgers Reds, and this is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Tough conversations need to be said. Rhys Hoskins is no fool. Players know. I got to tell you, in all my years of releasing players, trading players, signing them, everything you do with players, it's really very rare when you tell a player something and they're like blown away, surprised. It really is rare. It's what gets talked about most when a player makes a scene or when a player is delusional and doesn't realize that they have options and that's why they're being sent out, as opposed to someone who doesn't have options. And then if you send them out, you risk losing them. Players don't understand how you construct a roster and limits and rules, and it's not their job to while they're still playing. They don't need to.